Hey there, TJ here, and welcome to MADDEMON Footy. And it has been a rough start to the season. Our roughest start to the season since I think 2014 was the last time we started 0-4. Some better signs this week. We didn't get beaten by 10 goals. It's 7 or 6 and a bit. There was some nice things to see in the game. It wasn't all terrible, and they didn't really give up too badly. Geelong came in with a really well thought out game plan to keep the ball off, just to play keepings off, and mark the ball and pass it around and keep us running around to tire us out, and then capitalise towards the end of quarters, which they did throughout most of the game. They got most of their goals sort of towards the end. They broke a record for the amount of marks in a game. So yeah, that just shows you how much more focus they put on it to break records and really sort of just tire us out from running around and defending. Unfortunately, we're not getting a great run at it. We're seeing a lot of players just kick it in still, like Jack Viney and Clayton Oliver are very much culprits of that. I was really excited seeing Cozzy back in the side, and he actually hit up a few lead-up passes and just really adds that spark to the team that we were missing. And I feel like we're only going to get better with, him in the side, Caleb Windsor back in the side, really giving us some pace. But yeah, we haven't really found the new midfield mix. I think this year's just going to have to be experimental now. Losing the first 4 games pretty much means that top 4 is really not happening, and we have a chance to possibly scrape into the top 8 if we can get our shit together. But getting our shit together is it's going to take a bit. There is some nice signs with McVee's still got to come back in. If we can get Jake Lever in the side and get Tom McDonald forward to give JVR the second defender, we might be able to get something going on happening there. Disco seemed to play all right. Tom Fullerton kicked a bag in the VFL, so he might, maybe he's not a great ruckman, but if he's clunking marks and kicking goals, I think he's kicked 10 in the first 3 games. Maybe that's an option because at least he's tall, so the best defender's going to have to take him because he's taller. I feel like this year's just going to be us really working out where everyone plays for next year. And it sucks because, we all, want to bounce back. We've got some real quality players still in our team. Max Gawn, Christian Petrarca, Clayton Oliver, Jack Viney, Stephen May, Jake Lever, Cozzy Pickett. They're all, A-grade players. If Bailey Fritsch can turn it around, that would be great. If he could lay some more tackles, that would be awesome. And then, some of these younger players, that are new, like your Harry Sharp, Aiden Johnson, they can, we can just get a bit more gel and a bit more chemistry. I think there's a lot of disasterizing in the media at the moment about, us falling off a cliff and all that sort of stuff because it makes good headlines, it makes good clicks. At least the effort was there this week against Geelong. It didn't feel like we gave up where it felt like we gave up against Gold Coast and North Melbourne, and that's not good enough. But yeah, let's see what Simon had to say.
Simon, you had some good periods in that game, and I'm assuming you would have given yourself a massive chance at 3/4 time. How do you assess the game overall?
Yeah, I think if you looked at the game, you'd probably say there was certainly some better signs. But we're not in the business of just getting better. We want to start turning these into some more positive results for us as a footy club. So, there were some things that we took a step forward in, which I think everyone would have been evident to see. But as I said, we want to start to translate this into some really positive results for us. So we're certainly not sitting here comfortable at all. We wanted to come down here and obviously take the 4 points home with us, but that wasn't to be. But we leave with some things getting better, but work to do.
Was it that work around stoppages and around the footy that did improve? Yeah,
it did. I thought our intent in and around the ball and our method was better. I thought our ability to defend the ground at times was a lot better. Albeit they took probably a few more marks than we would have liked. But we generated some intercepts. We just didn't punish those intercepts as much as we would have liked. So, as I said, there were things that were better. But
yeah, when you don't take your opportunities, it's always going to look worse on the scoreboard.
There's still a lot of work to be done, and we feel like we'll get there.
You mentioned the marks. The count was incredibly lopsided. Did you plan to reduce their marks, or did things just get out of control tonight?
Yeah, look, we spoke about it at times and about what type of the marks that we wanted to really take away. They're certainly a team that can shift the ball, that they're also a very powerful go-forward team with speed. So,
but also when you're not connecting with what you're doing, it's hard to take away a weapon from another side.
They can do it multiple ways. It was probably a bit more about us with the ball, our ability to shift the ball at times on turnover, especially we had 21 mark oppos for the day, which is a big number and a number that we certainly were encouraged by. Our ability to defend and get those type of intercepts. We just didn't probably use the ball as well as we could have.
Was tonight more about improving your game than it was trying to take away any part of their game?
Oh yeah, I think we came here to obviously take parts of Geelong's game away, but a big part of it was to get it set around the ball. And obviously we wanted to try and get that ball in the front half as often as we could. Obviously there were periods, especially in the third quarter, we got pinned for a period of time in the back half, and once again that was a bit about ball use and our ability to win contests ahead of the ball. So they're a pretty good team, Geelong, and as I said, we were in it right up until three-quarter time. The spirit, the energy was good, but as I said, we're not here to just get better. We're here to...
Yeah, because the method needs to be better on the ground, and we're still giving up, biggish scores. So our what we've relied on with our defense isn't there either. So we've got to get that right first, really, and just be a bit more simpler with the way that we attack and hit the next target rather than trying to bomb it long and causing turnovers. That where we have to defend more and defend more. Defending's exhausting.
Start taking some really good results for our footy club, and that's what we'll be looking to do.
Which I should point out is what we were doing in 2021 and 22, even a bit of 2023, where we were forcing teams to defend and exhausting them and then running over the top later in the games.
Incredibly upset and frustrated on the siren. How is he?
He's a winner. He's determined. He's proud. He's like everyone. He wants to really start to get some positive results, and he's a proud leader of our footy club, and all our leaders are like that. So of course he's going to be disappointed.
Give him the captaincy. Give it to Track. Let's change it up. They're not going to sack the coach, so let's change it up and give Track a bit more responsibility. You can see it on his face how much he cares, and I love how much he cares about our football club. He always wants it to be better, and he's a winner. He's that Kobe Bryant mindset. He's that Mamba mentality, and you want those people at your club leading. And Gawn's been a great leader for so long, but how about we let him enjoy the last couple of years of his career, and we can put the captaincy on Track for a bit. Why not?
Once again, there were some issues going inside 50. You missed some targets, just missed some, and then some you missed by a fair way. Yeah. Are you getting better in that aspect, do you think, or are you stagnating?
I think we can acknowledge our execution needs to improve. There was a clear difference in the teams tonight. Was a big part of it was execution, their ability to maximise their entries and execute with the ball in hand right across the ground, but particularly inside 50, gave them greater scoring opportunities than it did for us, and we generated some really good looks, and we just weren't able to finish those plays.
Inside 50, it's not a new issue for you. Are you progressing with it? How close are you getting to?
We're getting high quality entry. We've just got to finish it with our execution.
I think the silence is there because we all know that a lot of those inside 50s aren't high quality.
Next week?
He's a chance, but we'll have to just wait and see how he pulls up. He's got a bit of work to do to be definite, but we'll probably know a bit more Monday, Tuesday on that one.
How would you describe the morale of your players at the moment after 4 losses?
I think the real morale is to stay calm, but I thought we saw a spirit tonight, a real determination for a week, and there was a spirit and an energy tonight, and the message is stay calm. Like, we're 4 weeks in, stay calm but get urgent, and that's been the message. We've got work to do, get urgent with that work, but stay calm and know that things can turn pretty quick.
0-4 is a long way back. Do you think this group has it in them to...
Things can turn pretty quick. We've got enough talent there on the list for it to be able to turn around quick. It's just, I think, he just needs to get the system right and the ball movement right.
To get back into the season?
We're not looking ahead too far at all. We're not going to look back. We're going to look at this week against Essendon. That's all we'll do.
That's all you can do.
We'll grab the learnings, but we'll look right at this week and we'll look to get our season going.
see this as a sign of you heading in the right direction as a club, though. I mean, you did show a tremendous amount of spirit in those first 3 quarters.
Yeah, I think, as I said, we've got a proud group, and the last 2 weeks against North Melbourne and Gold Coast weren't anywhere near the level that we expect internally of each other, and the way that we wanted to play. And tonight, we saw some better signs. We'll acknowledge those signs, but as I said, we're not here just to get better. We're here to start to really turn this into some positivity for our footy club, and as I said, we're going to look right at this week again and get urgent with what we're doing.
What did you make of Cosby's return?
Yeah, look, it was strong. Cos, you can see he adds a different sort of dynamic to our midfield group. He had his 3 shots. He probably didn't maximise his shots, but first game back, I thought he contributed really strongly. You can see he's done a hell of a lot of work to get involved in that midfield group, and he's going to be a huge player for us as the year goes on.
Harrison Penny looked pretty sore. He obviously went back on the ground, but yeah, how's he?
Yeah, look, he's fine. As I said, I thought our backs defended it okay. Harry's still looking to probably get into his best form. But I thought Tom McDonald, Stephen May were right back to their best, and that's why we generated a few intercepts that we liked.
Is it still a contest clearance game in 2025 across the board?
I think you've got to be good at everything. That's the reality. If you want to be a good team, you want to be good at stoppage and contest, but you've got to be able to create the turnovers, and then you've got to be able to punish them. That's the game. You have to be able to punish the ones that you get, and right now our execution, our ability to punish isn't quite there, but the pleasing thing was we're able to get more high quality ones tonight.
Yeah, you've got to make the most of your opportunities whenever you have them. That's the way football's always been. You're going to win you're going to win some of the contests. You're not going to win all of the contests, no matter what game it is. But if you don't take your opportunities, you don't kick the goals when you've got those chances, you're going to make the games harder for yourselves, and it's easier for things to turn. Games can very quickly fall apart if you don't go when it's your turn to go, and if you don't make the right decision when it's your turn to make that decision. But yeah, look, I don't think it's all doom and gloom yet. We're probably not going to win a flag this year, but either 16 other teams. That's just footy. A bit sadder to have hope kind of ripped away this earlier in the season. Being 0-4, it really sucks. It's really depressing, and it just shows how much better this team's been over the last 8-10 years, to not have this sort of start of the season. But try to not let it upset your D's fans. It's just footy, it's sport. We got to see a flag a couple of years ago, which is great. Imagine if you were crap, and if we were crap and we didn't have a flag, or we didn't have some ultimate joy, it would be a lot harder and it would be a lot more annoying. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts on the game in the comments below, and I'll see you next week, hopefully with a win over the Bummers.